welcome to the Courageous Self-Care Podcast. I'm your host, Christina Marlette. On this show, we get into self-care that moves the needle. It is strategic, it's action-oriented, and it goes deep. It goes way beyond bubble baths, chocolate, and wine. It even goes beyond nutrition, sleep, and hydration. It is transformational, and it's uncomfortable. And that's why I'm here to help guide you along. Be sure to stick around until the end. I've got a free resource to share with you. On the show this past month, we've been exploring Courageous Self-Care Foundation number 3, which is growing your gratitude. Why do we want to do that? Well, gratitude changes everything. I did a whole episode on why. What we're focusing on today is how you can use gratitude to learn to love your body. I know this journey very well from my own experience. Initially, I had very poor body image. I grew up as a dancer, and so my relationship with my body was one of loathing and disgust and hatred from what I saw in the mirror. I was not as skinny as the other girls in my dance classes, and I had some meat on my bones. I didn't know how to accept that, and so it turned into this really aggressive, low body image. It affected so many areas of my life, and it remained up until I was in my 30s. I didn't like looking at myself in the mirror. I liked covering my body, so I love clothes and getting dressed up and that kind of thing. But looking at what I saw filled me with unhappy feelings and thoughts. I saw a therapist for a time, and what she helped me move into from hatred was the next step, which was acceptance. As I learned also through my transformational personal development journey, I learned how to focus more on how my body felt rather than how it looked. And when I closed my eyes to dance, because I still love dancing, even though it wounded me in terms of my relationship with my body, what I learned was that the delicious joy of movement felt amazing. And if I could feel that sensation in my body, it could help me move from hatred and loathing to at least some form of acceptance. And it took years to get there, but eventually I did have this profound shift happen, particularly through dancing, of what it looked like versus what it felt like. And when I stopped looking in the mirror to critique myself and to criticize, and I started feeling what it was like to inhabit my body, I was much better able to accept that this was my body and that no matter what I did, I could feel good in it. It didn't have to be this relationship of hatred and treating it like a machine and making it exercise and feeding it foods that didn't necessarily nourish my soul at the same time. It wasn't until I used gratitude that my relationship with my body really changed. So once I inserted and learned the practices of gratitude around my body image, it shifted into this deep love for my body. I remember going through a book that was by Rhonda Byrne. I believe that particular one, it wasn't The Secret. I think it was called The Magic, and it's all about gratitude. I did a number of I did the whole book. And some of the exercises I remember as being extremely transformational. One of them was to go through different parts of your body and to either think or write down why you were grateful for those body parts. And one in particular was hands. So why are you grateful for your hands? What can they do for you? What do they add to your life? I spent a lot of time contemplating the different parts of my body and why I was grateful for them. What it really helped was the parts that I didn't like. When I looked in the mirror, I would just think, ugh, I wish that was different, or why can't I change that? I've done so much exercise. I've been eating so well. Why won't that part of my body change? When I shifted into gratitude for those different parts of my body, it impacted me at a level that was so much deeper than acceptance. So, for example, my legs, not loving how they look. But when I go inside and think about why am I grateful for my legs? Oh my gosh, so many reasons. They take me where I want to go. They are strong. My legs allow me to walk and see the world. They help me dance. My legs give me strength and solidity. They connect me to the earth. As I went through all of these different reasons that I was grateful for the parts of my body that I didn't love, it shifted. As I have said many times, gratitude changes everything. It helped me go from poor body image into acceptance, and then into this profound love. And the deep understanding I have now about my body that would not have happened without going through these exercises of gratitude is that I know for sure for me that my body is my direct connection to spirit, to creator, to God, to the universe. Whichever word resonates with you, I know that for me, that is how I connect with that which is greater than me, through my body, through sensation. Without my body, and of course, without your body, we wouldn't be here in this form, in this lifetime. We would be having a completely different experience, but we chose to be here. And that deep sense of gratitude helped me shift into understanding that my body is my home. And regardless of how it looks, I can love it because it is my direct connection to spirit. What I love about our bodies and what I love about my body now is that it only lives in the present. My body cannot be in the past. It cannot be in the future. It can only be right now. And our bodies have so many ways of communicating with us that most people haven't actually learned to understand. And this led me to train as an embodiment coach. I fell so much in love with my body that I wanted to know everything there was about it. I've studied the science of the body, I've studied the spirituality of the body, and now what I love to do is help people connect with their body and get the answers that they are seeking. We don't need to get the answers from out there. Our body actually provides us with all of the answers. It's also this incredible map that shows us where we are in our personal and spiritual development. The body is magnificent, and gratitude is what helped me get there, fall in love with my body, and understand that there is so much more to it than how it looks. That is my journey. When I combined gratitude with poor body image, it took me to a completely different realm. And so now whenever I feel like there are still remnants of that, oh, I don't like how that looks, I do my practice of, okay, that part, I don't love how it looks, but why am I grateful for it? Without fail, that practice shifts my attitude every time. That is what I wanted to share with you about the body and falling in love with it using the practice of gratitude. I hope that it has served you. If it has, please like, comment, and share with your friends this episode, because if only we could all understand how beautiful and magnificent and miraculous our bodies are, we could leave all of that poor body image behind, all of those dieting tendencies, all of our unhealthy behaviors that are wrapped up in our body image. If we could learn to use gratitude instead, it would change so much. The resource I want to share with you is the self-care checklist. It is available on my website, ChristinaMarlette.com. That's Christina with a CH. Marlette is MARLETT.com. What is this checklist going to do for you? It has several of the Courageous Self-Care Foundations. It's more than a checklist. It's actually a teaching. And it takes you from wherever you're at, shows you some action steps on how to incorporate those foundations into your life so that you are able to give with more joy and love and understanding, rather than the place where so many women are at, which is running on empty. And then we end up giving with bitterness and resentment and irritation. Go ahead and download that checklist. I created it just for you, and it truly will make a huge difference in your life. You can print it off. I made it look all pretty. So go to ChristinaMarlette.com to get that. Finally, I'll leave you with this thought. When a woman prioritizes her own well-being, we've heard it before. It's a cliche, but cliches are powerful because they're true. When you put on the oxygen mask on the airplane for yourself first, then you can help others around you. Women love to give. We love to nurture. We're designed specifically to do that. However, with all of the responsibilities and the way that we have changed over the centuries, our role is not just taking care of the home and the family anymore. There's so much more. And so we have continued to take care of the home and the family and piled all this other stuff on top, so that we end up giving with resentment and bitterness because there's nothing left in our tank. We're running on empty. We have been trying to live without that oxygen mask and taking care of everyone else's. When we say enough, there is going to be some action taken towards my own self-care first, then I can give to you with the love that we both are craving. That is why it's so important to take care of yourself. We want to be giving with this love and fulfillment and satisfaction and joy. The only way that we can do that is by taking care of ourselves, not superficially, but deeply. Going inside where it's uncomfortable, where we often need a guide. And what happens is that we transform. We end up having more than enough time. We end up having more than enough love to give. And we feel whole and complete. Thank you so much for listening. I look forward to connecting with you again next time. Bye-bye for now.